Why isn't Golden Kamuy more popular? 3 reasons coming up. Hey there, guys, it's your boy McMix, and well, I really wanted to talk about Golden Kamuy because it's a series I've been watching lately, and it's so interesting, it's so fun, and it's so different than everything I've ever watched. And when I got into this franchise, I didn't know much. I had seen some clips, but I went online and I checked the online forums, the subreddits, and I found that there was a lot of people watching it. I mean, the show is clearly successful, right? It's gotten 4 seasons. I know the manga is very well respected and well liked. The thing is, I was wondering, what is keeping Golden Kamuy from being one of the most popular animes ever? And why wasn't there any talk about Golden Kamuy? I searched up Golden Kamuy analysis and literally nothing came up. I tried to find videos analyzing the characters, the themes, and the story, but I didn't find much. And why most of the famous anitubers never really touch this series. Now, let's begin with reason number 1. It is very bizarre and it has many tonal shifts. Now, anime as a medium is bizarre. I know that. That's not weird. But there's bizarre, like JoJo's bizarre, and bizarre in the sense that I don't get why this was made this way. There are so many tonal shifts in this particular series that it's actually jarring. It's almost as if it's written by two completely different people. There are moments that are straight up taken from a Disney's Goofy cartoon, like yuck, like really goofy moments. I'm talking cartoony Looney Tunes chases and like really dumb cartoonish fights that I would never expect to see in such a series. And then you have scenes where there is a literal bloodbath. You have scenes with maiming and torture and open wounds, like full frontal nudity. It's so weird, bro. It is really weird. And this creates a weird dynamic where I want to get invested in the narrative, but every so often you're going to have this like cartoonish fight or this cartoonish run, and it's going to ruin the scene. And then if I want to approach this series as a comedy, I can't really do that because there are horrific scenes in there. The main antagonist is constantly maiming and killing his opponents. Like, you can't take this series comedically either. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. In season 2, in the early episodes of season 2, there is a character who is literally skinning people. And only that, he wears human skin. And there's a whole comedic skit of him doing like a runway, like he's a runway model. And I was so disgusted and yet weirded out. Like, was I supposed to laugh here? So, yeah. Same thing with many of the characters who at times act very mature and at times act like literal buffoons. The character of a Sherpa, I can see. I can believe that this character existed at some point or could exist. But the main bad guy, the master escape artist, they're so ridiculous and over the top. Because of this constant shift in the tone of the series, it's not clear who this narrative was made for. Because some of the fights are as if they're made for a child audience, and some of the stories though are clearly made for an older audience. So who is this story for? I genuinely believe this series would have been more popular had it leaned more on either sides, either as a really weird comedy or as a serious seinen. Reason number 2. The pacing of the series feels like from another era. Let me explain. Now, growing up, I loved series like Pokemon, Digimon, Monster Rancher, and others. And one of the main reasons was they were not really interested in the end goal of the series, and they were more focused on the journey. This was such a staple of the early 2000s anime. But times have changed, and manga and anime have gotten a lot more organized with arcs, with clear progression. And Golden Kamuy feels like it's from another era. The characters and the narrative are clearly not interested in reaching the goal. In fact, there are multiple episodes where the characters completely forget about the gold they're after and go on a hunting trip or taste some beer or they spend their time in the wild. And the pacing is slow. It genuinely feels like the author wants us to get to know the characters, to explore the topography and the nature of Hokkaido as an area. The writer clearly wants to just create a living, breathing world. And the third reason why Golden Kamuy, I think it's not that popular and it's not even talked about that much. I think it's because of the lack of themes, or rather, the lack of an in depth exploration of its themes. And yeah, I know, you'll say, come on, McMix, every narrative has themes. Well, not really. Every narrative has ideas and concepts and messages, but not every single narrative has these ideas and teeny tiny concepts taken into a more thematic level. And I think Golden Kamuy suffers from this a lot. It has a couple of ideas, like the idea of nature and the concept of tradition and the concept of human greed, but it never actually goes deep in these themes. It never explores the connection between humans and nature. It never talks about tradition. There's a hint here and a hint there, but the character is never going to an actual meaningful dialogue about these situations. It's never actually talked within the show in depth. And I think this is one of the main reasons why none of the popular AniTubers have talked about this series, because there's nothing to talk about. It genuinely feels at times as if it's like a roller coaster ride from one part of Hokkaido to the other. I wish I could talk more about how nature is represented in the series, but there isn't much to talk about. There's never any grand statement about nature and humans and how they should coexist. A Shirpa doesn't want to paint her lips with the tattoos that the Ainu women get, but this is never explained in depth. We never get to spend time with other Ainu women and like have an actual conversation with them, listen to their thoughts, or maybe a Sherpa facing other women in her tribe. No, that never happens. It's literally just mentioned. It's not in depth. The themes and ideas are there, but they never go one step further. I think these are the main reasons why the show suffers and is not more popular. Again, this isn't a hidden gem of a show. People know of Golden Kamuy, and people have at least heard the words Golden Kamuy before, but it's kind of sad that more people don't talk about it. And I think these are the three things that keep this series from really breaking into the mainstream. If you like this video, then check out my Ashirpa analysis video. Yes, I decided to take the plunge and actually make an analysis video for one of the characters to get the conversation going. So if you like Ashirpa, check it out. Also, if you want to watch more videos about seinen manga or Saying an anime, I have a huge list of videos from Goblin Slayer to Vinland Saga and Arte. Now, if you disagree with me or you have a counter argument, please leave a comment down below. I always try to answer to comments. I want to see your opinion, guys, okay? All right. Now, if you like this video, hit like and smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.